We're back.
We're big. It's the post-colonoscopy show.
Welcome back to Working Crass Podcast. This is Lauren.
Hello.
And I'm Joshua. We are back from taking a week off of the Working Crass Podcast, but you got a brand new episode right here. And so much has changed in the last week.
Yeah, so much of my colon is empty.
So much of your colon is completely emptied. You had a colonoscopy.
I did.
Or as you like to call it, they've roto-rooted your asshole.
Yep. I mean, that's essentially what they do. They shove like a camera on like a tube up your insides.
The medical term really should be roto-tutor. Like,
Roto-tutor?
We just want to give you a routine roto-tutor and get you on out of here.
I petitioned to change it to that. Yeah, no, that's great.
We just got to get you a quick roto-tutor, and then we'll get you on out of here. How does that sound?
That sounds right up my alley.
Yeah, no, when they put you out, and then you woke back up, and I'm in there in the room, and she's, slowly waking up, and she's like, I shot down a helicopter with a pea shooter, a government helicopter. Fuck the fucking federal government.
Yeah.
You're like talking about, you're just saying racial slurs under your breath.
Well,
No, you were very concerned that you had said something offensive. She's like, what did I say in there? Because I was thinking about race wars in my dreams. I was having dreams of lovely race wars.
I was dreaming about the streets of Ferguson burning down. No. I was having bizarre dreams that had to do with, like, shooting at government planes.
Yeah.
Which I'm pretty
It's
sure.
just you and your mom, Roseanne.
Yeah, just me and Roseanne. I'm pretty sure, like, they probably contacted Homeland Security while I was out just to put me on a watch list.
Your follow-up meeting on Monday is going to be him and a couple federal agents standing in the room going, we want to talk to you about some of the things you said while you were under.
Yeah, that's my follow-up appointment, is to meet with a CIA operative.
We just want to talk to you about some of the things that you said during your roto-tutor.
And they're very concerning.
Not a lot of people talk about the government during their roto-tutor. We got to get you taken care of. Anyway, so that's what's different. Lauren has a much cleaner asshole, and I'm a whole year older now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Is that what colonoscopies do to loved ones? They age your loved ones by a year?
They age your loved ones by a year because I had to, listen to you shit for a whole night. It just made me a whole year older.
Honestly, that was the worst part about the whole experience. Like,
Was what?
What was the preparation for it?
Oh, yeah, having to shit constantly.
The cleanse stuff that they give you, the medicine that they make you take to, like, empty your body is, oh God, it is just horrifyingly bad.
I'm sure our listeners love to listen to my beautiful wife talking about shitting her brains out.
They do. That's what they come here to watch.
We come here for crass entertainment, for crass talk. I want to hear about that doo-doo coming out of your wife's ass. But yeah, so that's what's different. Lauren has a clean ass, and I had a birthday, and now I'm a year older. So that's all that happened last week. That's all we missed.
Yeah.
Actually, no, we missed a lot of stuff in the news. A lot of crazy stuff happened, and every time we take a week off, all the good stuff happens. All the good stuff that we need to be talking about on the podcast happens.
It's we take a week off the podcast, and I think the world knows, like, Josh and Lauren are not watching us, so now we can misbehave.
Yeah, definitely.
And things go to shit.
Things go crazy.
I like to think that the Working Crass podcast, we are the watchdogs of society.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're keeping a watchful eye on society to make sure nobody fucks up.
Yeah.
Nobody
We're
takes a wrong step.
You're exactly right. We're enforcing the checks and balances.
We're enforcing the checks and balances of making sure people act crass. And when you're not crass enough, we go, not crass enough. Fix your behavior.
Yep.
Change your behavior.
Yeah.
We don't like when people, are nice.
Yeah.
and do their jobs well. We prefer you to do your job poorly so we have something to talk about on the next episode.
Yeah. Is it just me, or do I look like blindingly white?
Well, it's because the sun is coming in. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you always look blindingly white, even when the sun's not coming in. You're a very pale person.
I'm slowly just disappearing. Like
You want
I'm
me to make the
becoming
camera?
translucent.
I can make the camera really dark. We could look like we're just sitting in here in the dark.
No, it's fine.
Well, no. What's funny is I actually turned the gain on the camera all the way down, so you're just you're just emitting light. You're
know.
glowing. It's that fresh colon. That fresh colon makes you glow.
It's that post-colonoscopy glow, baby. I'm over here looking snatched.
See, I'm a little white too, though. If you look at my arms, see, I'm glowing too. I got that fresh 32-year-old glow.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That 1-year-old or having heard your wife shit all night glow.
Yeah, I love it. Well, cool. Let's talk about some of the things that happened in the week since we have been out.
All right. Let's do it.
Cool. Guess what, Lauren?
What?
Jimmy Fallon's out.
Yeah.
He's out.
He's gone the way of Ellen.
He's gone the way of Ellen. He's mean. Jimmy Fallon is mean.
And that is the worst offense in talk show land, is to be mean.
Oh, absolutely. It's the worst offense in woke world. In woke world, to be mean is the same as being a rapist. It's just they're the both equal punishments.
Yeah.
You just go away forever.
Yeah.
If you're mean, you go away forever. If you're a rapist, you also go away forever.
Yeah.
If you're a murderer, you go away forever. Actually, if you're a murderer, you deserve a second chance. And the justice system isn't fair.
Yeah. But if you're a mean murderer.
No, you got to get out of here. Got to get out of here. Jimmy Fallon is mean. Let's take a look here. This was an article by Rolling Stone. It got a lot of attention. Chaos, comedy, and crying rooms inside Jimmy Fallon's Tonight Show. 16 current and former staffers say Fallon's erratic behavior spoiled their dream of working on The Tonight Show. Now, let's start there. I hate this whole, they spoiled my dream. It was my dream to work at The Tonight Show, and then the host was mean. It's like, if your dream is to work on an elite fucking mainstream television show.
And you think elites don't misbehave.
Right. like you're
newsflash.
You're surprised when one of the richest, performers in the world, is misbehaving, isn't nice. It's like, what did you think this dream job was where you work at the top of one of the biggest buildings in New York City that, is producing the biggest shows in the world? Well, you know what I'm saying?
They all have a Mary Tyler Moore complex, They're all throwing their berets to the wind I've made it.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's going to listen to me, and it's going to be all roses and sunshine, and we're all going to hold hands and sing Kumbaya together.
It's like you're in the most corrupt industry in the world. What are you thinking? What are you talking about?
Right.
I would expect if it was my first day on the job at a late night show, that night we're all going to go worship Moloch and sacrifice a child. I would just assume that's day one.
Yeah, blood packs are happening.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely correct.
I would expect to see Jimmy Fallon just beating a writer in the hallway until they're bloody and just going, you give me better work next time.
Yeah, just brings in a puppy.
Yeah.
Kicks it.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Oh, absolutely. Just to show his dominance.
Right.
Just to show, this is where I'm at.
Right. He does one of those power stances on the table.
With his balls out?
Yeah.
He just stands with his legs and his balls are hanging out.
Just to show them.
I'm the boss.
Yep. And
if you work in that job and you're one of the writers, your response should be, yes, sir, you are the boss, because he's created, the entire team has created something that allows them to hire a bunch of writers and allows them to, hire a bunch of crew members. They pay a lot of people a lot of money to be able to do this job that's considered one of the best jobs that you could possibly get in comedy. I mean, not anymore, not by anybody anymore, but, for a long time, that was the goal as a comedy writer, to work on a late night show.
Yeah, it's got super high. It's supposed to have super high standards.
Yes,
you're supposed to be among the best of the best, and you're also producing something on a nightly basis. So there's a lot of pressure expected of you.
Yep, absolutely.
Right.
It's like oh, what's the company that makes all the bombs? Lockheed Martin.
Raytheon?
Raytheon, Lockheed Martin. It's like,
Boeing?
it's like, oh, I went to go, start my first day at Lockheed Martin and we're making bombs for terrorists?
I started my new job at the World Economic Forum, and we're like trying to take over the world.
Yeah. We're trying to make sure nobody can own property?
We're trying to make sure that everybody becomes our slaves for our new feudal dominance.
It's like, yeah, no shit. No shit, Sherlock. I
Mhm.
just became Hillary Clinton's new campaign advisor, and I have to go pick her up her morning child blood every morning, like her morning cup of child's blood.
I just started working for the Obamas, and like they want me to like drown some people in the pond in the back. Like I don't know about this.
I have to work. This is my first day working for the Obamas. I just got fucked in the ass.
by big Mike.
I just got fucked in the ass and then told not to tell anyone.
Do you believe the Big Mike conspiracy?
I keep hearing this. What is the Big Mike? Like, I understand that the conspiracy is that Michelle Obama is a man, but isn't Big Mike a separate like person? Isn't Big Mike like a rapper?
Maybe, but I think that's just the nickname for her.
For her man. Okay, so it's not
Yeah.
saying that she is the celebrity Big Mike.
Yeah, no.
That's not what it is. Okay, because I was a little
I think
confused.
Big
I was
Mike
like,
might be like the nickname for Michael Jordan too.
oh, really? Really? I thought Big Mike was like a rapper guy, but maybe I'm wrong. Should I look this up?
Yeah, you definitely should.
Let's look up Big Mike, but let's use DuckDuckGo. No, I'm just joking.
You might get some wild picture.
Big Mike is an American rapper.
Oh,
Michael Barnett, better known by his stage name Big Mike.
wow.
Now, will Wikipedia have anything about the it's like Big Mike is actually that's what I thought the whole time, but I actually think you're right. I think it is just like a nickname for Michelle Obama. It has nothing to do with Big Mike the
Yeah.
rapper.
Yeah.
Although, can we see some pictures of him? I mean, does he look a little like Michelle Obama? I think he does. This looks a little like Michelle.
Well, yeah.
What if we just clicked images and it is just pictures of Michelle Obama? It's that painting that they did, the presidential portrait that they did of her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, let's take a quick look here. Michelle Obama portrait. Just to compare here.
You know, there's going to be an AI gallery of this.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. There it is. It says right here, portrait of Big Mike. There we go. Also, this I've always been bothered how this looks nothing like Michelle Obama. Like the face, that's not Michelle Obama's face at all. That doesn't look like her.
No.
Does it? Does it?
No, I don't think so.
The Obama one looks like him. That looks like him totally.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also like how Obama's painting is the meme, the Simpsons meme, where
Of
Homer goes
going
back
into the
into the
hedge.
bushes.
Yeah.
Obama's just like awkward.
It's Obama trying to avoid questions about bombing the Middle East.
There's just a big man in the bushes behind him fucking his ass.
Yeah. Nah, I don't know. I don't buy into the Big Mike conspiracy. I mean, I think it's funny.
Oh, it's
I think it's hilarious.
It's hilarious.
I just think she's an unfortunate looking lady, and I think they've caught her in many unflattering angles.
Yeah, they've caught her penis in many unflattering angles. They just keep catching her penis flopping out of the bottom of her dress. It's strange. No, everything I've seen of that, it looks it's so stupid. It's just
yeah.
like a crease in her pants, and they're like, oh, "That's a penis. That's a penis. She
Yeah.
has a penis.
Yeah.
She's a
I
man."
just think she has a square, angular face and
Yeah.
muscular arms.
I'll say it. I think Michelle Obama's hot for a man. Anyway, back to Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, back to Jimmy Fallon being mean,
being bad and
being a bad boy.
and spoiling all these writers' all of these people that worked for years in comedy and finally got a job paying a lot of money so that they can live in New York City to do one of the best comedy jobs in the world. But their experience has been spoiled because Jimmy Fallon's mean. He's mean to me.
Well, I want to know more about these crying rooms.
Oh, yeah. Well, every workplace in 2023 has crying rooms. If you're hiring millennials to work there, you kind of have to have crying rooms because at a certain point as a manager, you're like, you can't just be crying on the floor, and like you need to go to a different room to cry because they all cry.
I just kind of think
They all
of it
cry
like
constantly.
like it's like a dude walking into like a men's room, but they're
Mhm.
going into the crying room, and they're just like, guys, I just took a wicked cry in there. You're gonna want to wait a while before you go in.
Do not go in there.
Woo! That was a big cry.
Oh my god. All right, cool. So
Who knew I had that much cry in me?
now, because we don't have Rolling Stone, I had to copy and paste this before it blocked us out for not signing up for a Rolling Stone account. Fun fact, guys, if you don't want to sign up for Rolling Stone and you still want to read their articles, just go to the website, select everything and copy it before it tells you that you can't read it, and then you could read it all. Crazy.
Yeah.
It's very easy.
You're welcome for tips and tricks.
Yep. So let's read from our stolen version of this. It says, it was a particularly tense day on the set of The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. The host, known for his warm and congenial presence on screen, was acting especially dismissive and irritable during production meetings. A former longtime employee tells Rolling Stone, wow, sounds like he was the boss. Sounds like he's the host of the show and he was stressed. Sounds pretty normal to me. Then he stumbled through rehearsal in front of a studio audience who typically sit in on rehearsals for the late night show. Employees who spoke to Rolling Stone about their experiences working on The Tonight Show say it's common knowledge behind the scenes that there are good Jimmy days, where Fallon's wit and charm and creativity are on full display, and bad Jimmy days. This was a bad Jimmy day, according to the employee.
I mean, so far, this is every boss in America.
Yeah, no. It's like, Jimmy Fallon, it's weird. He has good days and bad days. Like every human being who ever existed.
Sometimes he's in a good mood, and sometimes he's not.
It's weird. I got this job, and Jimmy Fallon isn't an ethereal creature who behaves differently from other human beings.
They just thought, like, his persona on stage where he's always like, amazing!
Whoa,
awesome! They just thought
cool,
that he was
sweet,
like that 24/7.
Yeah. In the interview room, they think he's going to be like, that's so cool. That's awesome. Yeah. Whoa. So you did 4 years at Second City. Whoa. Awesome. You were on main stage at Second City? Whoa. So you were lead in She the People. Wow, that's awesome. Wow, cool.
They thought the Roots were going to come out and play for him every time they did something good.
They say Fallon seemed to be confused during rehearsal that day in 2017 when he crossed out jokes on the piece of paper he was holding, riffed with the audience for a bit, then quizzically looked back down at the same sheet of paper. He couldn't remember he had just crossed it out himself, the employee says. I was like, oh my God, he seems drunk. He doesn't know what he's doing. This could be awful. This could be the end of the show right here. Another staffer says they too witnessed the incident from their live studio feed inside their office. Already, I'm sorry, this sounds like fucking low-level employees and writers and stuff that are like think that their opinion of what this show is has any bearing whatsoever. It's just, these are unimportant people. These are people like, well, I work at the Jimmy Fallon show, and it's like people who are completely expendable. Like they could be fired at any moment, and it wouldn't make any difference on this show.
Yeah, I just thought
I think this might be the end of the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. It's like you're the janitor. Like, go away.
I just thought it was known that he had a drinking problem.
It's been known forever that he has a drinking problem.
And did blow all the time. And
for sure. That's been out. This is not new news that he has a drinking problem. And, he has a whole television show with his name in it and his face all over billboards. I would expect you to have a drinking problem and a drug problem. That's to be expected. I don't know. It was a really dark day for the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, and I should know. I'm their DEI officer. I'm their diversity, equity, and inclusion officer. So I should know a thing or two about the show. According to 2 current and 14 former employees, The Tonight Show has been a toxic workplace for years.
All right.
Boy.
Let's get into it.
Far outside the boundaries of what's considered normal in the high-pressure world of late-night TV. Okay.
I'm intrigued. Keep going.
They say the ugly environment behind the scenes starts at the top with Fallon's erratic behavior and has trickled down into its ever-changing leadership teams. 9 showrunners in the past 9 years who seemingly don't know how to say no to Jimmy. Former employees describe The Tonight Show as a tense and pretty glum atmosphere, with some alleging that they were belittled and intimidated by their bosses, including Fallon himself. Employees describe being afraid of Fallon's outbursts and unexpected, inconsistent behavior. Many of these staffers voiced their concerns through HR complaints, but problems at the Tonight Show persisted. He's just so demanding. He makes me write jokes for every show. I don't understand.
How dare he ask me to be funnier?
It's like, and here's the other thing. It's a creative field, right? So everyone's going to get fucking butthurt and blow it out of proportion because they're putting their own work into it, and then their joke gets turned down. And as you know, with people who write, who do comedy and want to pursue a career in it, everyone gets butthurt about their own work, and they're willing to do anything, including, take down someone else's career to make sure that, they can justify to themselves that my writing is good.
Yeah. I'm kind of suspecting that this is somebody who saw Strike Force 5 coming, and they're like, no, like, it's going to be monumental, and they just want to take it down. They want to take it down before it blows up, because they know what's coming.
They know
the power of Strike Force 5.
The next biggest podcast, move over Joe Rogan Experience. Strike Force 5 is going to knock you out of the #1 spot on Spotify.
Not just Joe Rogan, all of Hollywood should be shaking in their boots. Like, Strike Force 5 is a force to be reckoned with.
It's a Strike Force 5 to be reckoned with.
It's like the A-bomb of podcasts.
I'll agree that it's an A-bomb for sure.
Yeah, so I think somebody who saw the power of that is like, I gotta take him out. Gotta expose the Jimmy. One of the Jimmys.
It's just that, we've been to these places, I.O., Second City, Annoyance, these places where these late night shows actually pull their talent from to hire them, right, as writers. We know that these people will do literally anything to knock people in power out, because they believe that once you knock somebody in power out, you take their spot. It's this dumb fucking idea. And you see it over and over at all of these theaters.
They kind of view it like the same way the Santa Claus movie worked, right?
Yeah, you take out... Yeah. I'm Tim Allen. I'm going to take out the Santa Claus. I'll be the next Santa Claus, and I'll be a better Santa Claus. Yeah. And when I'm in a position of power, will not be corrupt. Everyone thinks that once they're in a position of power, they're going to be, they won't be tainted by corruption at all. They won't be tempted at all by any level of corruption.
They won't feel the pressures that all these other people feel and give in to them.
You know who would be a better Jimmy Fallon? Me. I would be a better Jimmy Fallon. I could do, yeah, awesome. I could do it. So cool, so sweet.
It's the Jimmy Claus. You take out Jimmy, he evaporates, his suit is there, you put on his late night suit.
You become a Jimmy.
Become the Jimmy.
You're the new Jimmy.
You're the new Jimmy.
It's the Jimmy Claus.
And if you don't, then there's going to be no late night show for anyone.
Oh no, that would be awful. That would just be the worst if there was no late night show.
Are you going to deprive all the boys and girls of the world of their late night comedy shows?
But we've also seen these articles in local newspapers about somebody goes, oh, I didn't get the spot I wanted when I auditioned at Second City, so therefore the theater itself has systemic problems and a toxic environment, and or the showrunner is toxic and they run a toxic show because my jokes, they didn't like my jokes and I didn't get in, so obviously it's toxic. It's like, none of them ever consider that, hey, maybe he was belittling you because you were hired as a writer and you wrote bad jokes and your stuff isn't good.
Your stuff is toxic.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, if what I see on these late night shows when I turn it on is any indication of what the writers are writing, which I think it is. Yeah. I think when I watch it, I'm pretty sure that's what the writers are writing. It's bad.
Yeah.
Like, none of the jokes are good.
Yeah,
And everyone turns it on and thinks it's garbage.
Yeah, they're claiming that Jimmy is toxic, but really it's their work that's toxic to the ratings.
Absolutely. And also, Jimmy Fallon, I feel bad for because he was always the one that wasn't super political to begin with. He was just kind of goofy. They just did, like, sketches and, like, goofy characters and stuff.
Although I feel
I never thought it was funny. But, he stayed anti-political. And then, the late night shows, Viacom came down. They're like, you're political show now.
Well, didn't he get, like, a whole bunch of people mad because he had Trump on or something?
He had Trump on. He tousled his hair.
Yeah.
And people were like, you don't touch his hair, man. You're going to get some of that evil on you.
Yeah.
If you touch his hair.
Touching his hair is pretty much voting for him.
Yeah, touching his hair is a vote for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
So stupid.
Yeah.
It all went downhill after the Tina Fey cake thing, let them eat cake thing.
No, you're right. You're right.
I don't want to talk about that, but
No,
because
we
I'll
won't.
spend an hour on that. But there's a thing about what was that about? The Charlottesville stuff? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was about the Charlottesville stuff, and she said, like, oh, just stay at home and eat cake and just ignore the Nazis, because that's what we do with Nazis. We ignore them because they have bad ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And then everyone's like, we don't do that. We fight. These late night shows are about fighting Republicans. That's what it is. And Viacom was like, you know what? You're right. The people are right. That's what we're going to do from now on. And they went to Jimmy Fallon's office and they said, your show is this from now on. And don't you dare tussle the president's hair. Don't you dare tussle Trump's hair ever again.
A representative.
You're going to make fun of Trump on every episode from now on. And you're going to say that, and you better say that the unvaxxed should die. You better fucking say it.
Yeah, and a representative from Raytheon hands him a grenade launcher and says, use this.
Yeah. We're sending you to the Ukraine, Jimmy Fallon. Anyway, and if you fuck up, welcome to NATO. All right. 7 former employees say their mental health was impacted by their alleged by their alleged experiences working at The Tonight Show. These staffers say it was commonplace to hear people joking about wanting to kill themselves, and that they would refer to guests' dressing rooms in the office as crying rooms, because that's where they would go to let out their emotions when they were upset with their alleged mistreatment. It's like, I just don't think any of these any of these, like, comedy show, like, big name mainstream shows don't have people that cry. They're high energy. What's the word where, like, they're fast-paced environments. Mm-hmm. They're really demanding environments. You have to create a show every single night, and you only have, like, a few hours to get it on live that night. Mm-hmm. It's a stressful job. There's going to be some tears. There's going to be some emotions. This doesn't sound any different than what I would assume goes on at every single late night show.
I mean, every open mic that I've ever been to and sat through, there's at least like 20 people joking about offing themselves. So
Yeah. No,
I just thought that was just normal in the comedy world.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like,
it's also just normal in the, like, millennial world.
Right.
Like, they
everybody's
all cry
clinically
and say,
depressed and
they're all on, depression medication that's making them completely, devoid of any emotion whatsoever.
And nobody can find any meaning in their lives. And
well, they're all retarded. But anyway, the former staffers who spoke to Rolling Stone requested anonymity out of fear of retaliation. Yeah. What would that be? Fear of retaliation. The former staffers have asked to be anonymous. So the retaliation can't be them getting fired. What do they think Jimmy Fallon's going to do? Show up at their house and fucking put a bullet in the back of their head?
Maybe.
Is that what they're afraid of?
Maybe. Jimmy Fallon is kind of like
he shoots them and he goes, ah, so cool.
Yeah. He's kind of like the Terminator.
He's like, get on your knees. Yeah. Execution style. Boom. Whoa, cool. Your head, like, exploded. Whoa. They worked in a range of positions on the show, from production crew members to office staffers, and in the show's writer's room. Many of the former staffers say they left the show because of their mental health. Some say they were fired from The Tonight Show. Good. Fire them all, I say. Fire all the writers. Because they all suck dick. Let's see. This person says, it's a bummer because it was my dream job. One former employee says. Writing for late night is a lot of people's dream jobs, and they're coming into this, and it becomes a nightmare very quickly. It's sad that it's like that, especially knowing that it doesn't have to be that way.
It's such a summer bummer.
It's like, it's not even that hard to write jokes about how stupid Republicans are.
I mean, does he even really do? I feel like Jimmy Fallon never really did that extensive of a monologue. Like
Yeah, he does a monologue every episode.
Yeah, but wasn't his thing more just like, let's get a celebrity and like chug ranch dressing together and like do weird
During the interview
bits
portions,
and
yeah.
games with celebrities who don't really want to do them?
During the interview portions, yes, but it follows the same format as all the other late night shows. It's monologue and then sometimes like a weird sketch thing that he'll do, but like when he has guests, he usually plans bits for them.
Yeah. I just thought he didn't put much emphasis in the monologue is all I'm saying.
No, after 2016, Viacom says you're putting emphasis on the monologue. The monologue is the most important. This is what we put on YouTube, and this is the part where we make fun of conservatives. Now do it.
Because I never saw clips of his monologue. I only ever see clips of the celebrity games.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand the appeal of that.
Yeah, me neither.
But then again, I don't worship at the altar of celebrity, so that might be it.
So let's go through all the lies here that this person told. One of them is writing for late night is a lot of people's dream job. Lie. No, I'm sure it is a lot of people's dream job.
I feel like it used to be
Yeah.
a lot of people's dream jobs, and then because they've gone so far off the rails and have lost so much viewership, people just are not as attracted to them as they once were.
Well, I think if you like ask the class of special needs students at Second City, because they have special needs classes too, and you ask them, what is your dream job? They all go, I want to work for late night.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Second City doesn't have special needs classes. I mean, all the classes are special needs classes. Except level 1 through 5. That's the special needs classes at Second City. Writing for late night is a lot of people's dream jobs, and they're coming into this and it becomes a nightmare very quickly. You don't say that getting, one of the biggest jobs, one of the most well-paid jobs, one of the most high in demand, and also, like we said, like fast-paced, quick-moving, like environments, that it's stressful.
Yeah. It sounds like the major complaint here is that the boss put pressure on them to do better.
This is the same. You know what? This happens outside of late night shows. This is at every job ever. You just give millennials jobs and they go, I didn't think I was going to have to do work.
Yep. Yeah.
I thought I was going to have like months and months of holiday time.
Yeah. This is Cartman working at the ice cream shop.
100%. Yeah. He's like, I'm going on my other break. Yeah. 100%.
It's Mental Health Monday.
Uh-huh. It's like nobody cares about my mental health. It's so weird.
It's Takeoff Tuesday.
It's weird. I started my job at Jimmy Fallon's, late night show that airs every single night, and they wouldn't let me take 4 weeks off.
Do they not even realize it's Work Easy Wednesday?
Rolling Stone contacted more than 50 Tonight Show employees, past and present, during the reporting for this story. After reaching out to representatives for Fallon and NBC, Rolling Stone reached out to an additional 30 current former staffers. While many of them praised Fallon's immense talent and comedic gifts, not a single one agreed to speak on the record or had positive things to say about working on The Tonight Show. Wait, but you just said that they did. You said, while many of them praised Fallon's immense talent and comedic gifts, not a single one agreed to speak on record or had positive things to say about working on The Tonight Show.
Yeah, they did contradict themselves.
While many of them had positive things to say about working on The Tonight Show, none of them had any positive things to say about working on The Tonight Show.
But isn't it interesting that none of them wants to, like, have their names out there?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That, of course, they're going to do it if they can be anonymous and where it, they can do it in the most snaky possible way, because if they were to put their face out there, people would know that they're just trying to benefit their own careers.
Oh, yeah. No, definitely. Well, I mean, think about it this way.
Which kind of suggests that he's really probably not that big of a problem, because if he was, wouldn't you want to be the face of the movement that called this person out.
No,
and,
they
like,
said
took
they're
a stance
afraid. They
against
said
them.
even the former staffers were afraid of retaliation. You know, Jimmy has a whole gang of thugs that are going to
Yeah,
come
they were
beat
afraid
you
that
up.
people would realize the kind of snakes that they actually are, and
Yeah.
nobody wants to work with people who are snakes.
That's true. If they did put all of their names here, let's say Working Crass, let's say, you know, we got real famous and they gave us our own TV show. But just FYI, never going to happen. Ever. Never happening. But but let's say hypothetically it did.
Mm-hmm.
We would 100% not hire anybody who we saw in an article was like shitting on the workplace environment of another like show, because it just like, oh, we're going to hire a complainer. Unless they were like complaining that, you know, Jimmy Fallon was raping every, you know, staff member. They had them line up for your morning raping.
Yeah, yeah.
Line up for monologue.
Mm-hmm. That was the code word.
Yeah, monologue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
While many, okay, anyway. Nor would any of the program's 9 showrunners since 2014 comment about the program's namesake on the record. They wouldn't even give statements of support, as is common in the entertainment industry. They keep saying things that are common, but on like it doesn't sound like, how common is it for showrunners to go run to a newspaper and be like, "It's great working here," you know? Also, all of this is a lie. I saw an article a couple days ago that like several showrunners have come out and said like everything in this article is a lie and is overblown and the
Yeah, of course.
so whatever.
Yeah.
Representatives for Fallon would not comment on the record for this story. Yes, because it would look bad. They also don't understand how like PR works. Like they're like they don't understand. Like we reached out and they said they had no comment in this fucking hailstorm of an article we're about to.
We reached out to the entire marketing team for Jimmy Fallon, and nobody had anything bad to say.
It's like, yeah, no shit. That's
Nobody
their
would
job.
shit talk him for us.
Exactly. It's like,
Yeah.
that's their fucking job to make sure that nobody does that. Let's see. After this report published, however, Fallon apologized to staffers in an all-hands Zoom call. "It's embarrassing and I feel so bad," Fallon said. Oh, let me read it in his voice. "It's embarrassing and I feel so bad." So cool. Fallon said, according to 2 people who were on the call. "Sorry if I embarrassed you and your family and friends. I feel so bad. I can't even tell you." Cool.
Amazing.
Amazing. Whoa. I love.
He just does it. He just does a sad like whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Whoa, dude. In a statement, a spokesperson for NBC defended the program, but notably did not mention Fallon himself. "We are incredibly proud of The Tonight Show, and providing a respectful working environment is a top priority," the spokesperson said. "As in many workplaces, we have employees raise issues. Those have been investigated, and action has been taken where appropriate. As is always the case, we encourage employees who feel they have experienced or observed behavior inconsistent with our policies to report their concerns so that we may address them accordingly." Okay, let me actually get to this, because I don't want to sound, again,
Yeah, get to it.
we always have to do this. We always have to do this when we read these articles.
Mhm.
I don't want to sound like we're not empathetic. And I don't want to sound like, you know, if the situation was like he's violently harassing people in the workplace, then
Mhm.
this is an important article and it needs to come out. But all of the articles like this, they never say what he did. None of these have said what he did.
Mhm.
It's the same thing with everything that bashes somebody's behavior. It's the same thing with the Ellen thing. Nobody actually said what they did. It's just like employees said that they felt like their mental health was bad and they were sad when they worked there. And a lot of people cried and sometimes it was stressful. It's like, what did he do?
Mhm. Mhm. I think that Ellen had all of her employees, when they were bad, she would make them lie down on the ground and she goes, "You're going to be my human dance floor." And she danced on top of them and like stomped.
And they're like, ow, Ellen, why?
Yeah.
If there was really, you know, something egregious happening here, then I'm all in support of the employees, you know, reporting that and you know, putting that out. This just sounds like attention-seeking bullshit, the same kind that, you know, all of these articles always are. It's just like, Tell us who. Tell us what. Tell us name names and tell us what the actions were.
He was given purple nurples every day at the beginning of the workday.
7 former employees say their mental health was impacted and add it was commonplace to hear people joking about wanting to kill themselves. Yeah. It's commonplace to hear people joking about that in all of comedy, just like we said earlier.
In all of comedy and probably in all offices across America.
And here's the thing, and this is what they're trying to...
Not that that's a good thing. I don't think we should be working ourselves to the point where we're like so devoid of meaning and feel so low, but...
Yep. So...
I don't think that's as outrageous as Rolling Stone is trying to make it appear.
Totally. And here's where they're going to try to save face and make this like... the same thing as the Ellen thing too, because their thing is it's not that the behavior was so bad, it's that his behavior is incongruent with what he is on screen. On screen he's so nice and lovable and friendly, and then in private he's demanding, and it's like, oh, it's almost like he is an actor on screen. Yeah. It's almost like he's a comedic actor. And when the cameras turn on, he turns it on. Nobody wants to watch Working Crass where you and I sit here as who we really are. Because who we really are, it would just be a podcast where like, I don't really feel like podcasting today.
Yeah, it would be a podcast of just me running to the bathroom and shitting my brains out.
It would be me like depressed and like fucking like not feeling like starting a podcast and like or doing anything and just being lazy and complaining. It would be stupid. When the camera turns on, it's a bit of a character.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. We're still authentic. We're still authentically ourselves. We're still giving our authentic opinions. But and the thing is like, okay, a mainstream TV show that has millions of viewers like Jimmy Fallon's, you think he's going to be himself? No. He's going to be whatever NBC Viacom wants him to be.
Yeah.
He is a puppet.
Mm-hmm. You're exactly right.
It's so weird. Behind the scenes, he kind of just like is stressed and he doesn't act, the way you would think. And then on TV, he just lets the strings puppet him.
Yeah, I think they thought it was just going to be, like, the writer's room was just going to be Jimmy Fallon with them with all the preschool instruments, and they're just singing songs with the preschool instruments all day long, every day.
Yep. Yeah, and unfortunately it wasn't. But, a lot of those writers do need to go back to preschool. I thought it was going to be we sit in a circle and sing Kumbaya. Well, and Jimmy plays the guitar.
In preschool, they do have crying rooms. I mean, they weren't treated like a good thing, but...
Yeah. Anyway, well, I think we should leave it at that. I don't want to go through this entire article. We've, said plenty about this. But, I'm Team Jimmy. Team Jimmy!
I'm Team Ellen. It's kind of a fight in this household.
I'm Team Strike Force 5,
There
okay?
can only be one mean talk show host. I think Jimmy Fallon and Ellen should have like a WWE celebrity wrestle off of who's the meanest.
Can I say something controversial here? I don't believe that there is a nice talk show host. I don't believe that there is one kind, empathetic talk show host. It doesn't exist. That's not how they became a talk show host. That's not how they got to the top. They got to the top by fucking pushing people down and fucking telling people, shut up. This is my show. That's how you get to the top. You don't find success through being nice to people. Yeah. And it's a hard lesson to learn. I feel like I've had to learn that lesson sometimes. Like, you don't have something successful by appeasing everyone's emotions constantly. Yeah. Sometimes you have to go, this is bad, fix it.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes you have to grab your employee by the hair and shove their face into a toilet.
Sometimes you have to find your former employee who talked about you in a Rolling Stone article, show up at their apartment, tell them, put a bag over their head, tell them to get on their knees, stand behind them, and go, get ready to die. Whoa, your head just exploded.
Sometimes you have to get your employee, put them on a private plane, send them to a private island, have somebody take incriminating photos of them with underage children, and blackmail them for the rest of their life.
Sometimes that's just the way it be. one of my coworkers once, I work in a call center and we're on the phone with customers all day, and you're supposed to say certain things to the customer and talk in a specific way. And I heard my coworker he goes, "Oh yes sir, it do be like that sometimes." It's like, what are you doing? Why are you saying that? Yes sir, it do be like that sometimes.
He was just pulling a Hillary Clinton, trying to like.
He's trying to be urban.
Yeah, talk like the person he was talking to.
Anyway.
Oh, that's funny.
Well,
funny. I just realized I said underage children, and that's completely redundant.
Oh, yeah.
But, sometimes redundancies happen.
No, there's a couple of age children, if you know what I mean. Taking a look here, also something else that happened while you were getting your, butthole cleaned and while I was turning a whole age, a whole year older, was that Congresswoman Lauren Boebert was kicked out of Beetlejuice musical for vaping and singing. So I keep seeing this everywhere. Rumor has it that the usher had to say Boebert's name 3 times to get her to leave. Surveillance footage has leaked Republican Congresswoman Lauren Boebert being kicked out of a performance of Beetlejuice musical in Denver, Colorado last weekend. Beetlejuice the musical, sorry.
I didn't even know there was a Beetlejuice the musical.
They just sing that Deo song over and over and over and over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, because this isn't all she did. She was like getting groped by whoever she was there with. I'm assuming her husband. I don't know if she's married or not. But like, there's video of her like he's like grabbing her tits, and then she starts jerking him off. I'm serious.
Damn. So she was getting wild.
They were getting like frisky in the thing. But it's like, who wouldn't? Beetlejuice makes you horny, you know? You say Beetlejuice 3 times, your penis rises up. Sometimes you get a little hard.
Yeah, that is the message of the movie.
It's the get it on. And then just because she is a Republican congresswoman, the reactions to this are just fucking crazy insane. It's like, okay, half the people, if it's a male liberal, this is what they've been doing. They've been going like, oh yeah, I'd love to fuck that slut. Like, I mean this. Like, this is all I've seen is like she's just a fucking slut that needs to be used and fucked. Because here's the thing you need to know about liberals is when you're talking about a conservative, all of the rules about what you should and shouldn't say go out the window. As a matter of fact, everything you're not supposed to say is now encouraged what you should say. Right. And so it's the same. It's like when you encounter a black conservative. When you encounter a black conservative, you're not supposed to be racist against black people. But if you're a liberal and you encounter a black conservative, it's slurs a go, baby. It's time to know this.
Yeah, no, you're right.
You know this.
You're right.
It's it's Uncle Tom's Ahoy. It's let's start calling them. I guess the word coon is back in action because I'm gonna start using it constant. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's wild. So everything I see about this is like dudes being encouraged. Liberal dudes being encouraged to talk about her like a trashy like whore and like
so they can slut shame her.
Exactly, 100% is just the constant slut shaming of her.
But if Hillary Clinton's vaping and getting rowdy,
it would be we shouldn't slut shame her. It's her right to do that. Blah blah blah. And then the women liberals, their whole thing is like wow, you guys are so concerned about children at a drag show, but there's children at this show and she's being sexually explicit in front of them. It's like, yeah, the big difference is she isn't on stage. She's not on stage doing this for the children.
Yeah. She didn't.
The difference is it's a dark crowd and she's doing this in private.
Yeah, she didn't invite all the children to her box.
Yeah.
To her theater box.
Exactly.
I didn't mean to her box.
Yeah. No, but that is a drag show, really. I mean, it's just like it's a drag queen opening her legs and going, "Come on, kids, get in the box."
I meant theater box.
Yes.
Box seats.
Yeah, in the black box. The politician and a male companion were warned by the ushers during intermission that they were disrupting the performance by allegedly vaping, singing, and causing a disturbance. When Act 2 began, Boebert took out her phone and started recording the show. Boebert was argumentative after the usher told her to leave, going so far as to threaten to call the police. Lauren Boebert tweeted, "It's true. I did thoroughly enjoy the amazing Beetlejuice at the Buell Theater, and I plead guilty to laughing and singing too loud. Everyone should go see it if you get the chance this week, and please let me know how it ends." You know what? I like her. You know, I don't usually like Congress people, but you know what? I like her already. She's frisky. She's horny. She's got big old titties.
She's rowdy.
She's rowdy. She's got a good sense of humor. I like her, even though I know literally nothing about her.
I mean, it just sounds like you're taking, somebody who doesn't go to a lot of theater performances to a theater performance.
Oh, yeah.
And they just don't know how to behave properly.
Yeah. She's like, hell yeah, I love that Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
This is like taking a redneck to a symphony.
Now, I wonder, though, if I can find, because this doesn't seem to include what I was looking at earlier. I wonder if I can find Lauren Boebert groping. Like,
You're going to get some crazy images.
No, I'm telling you, I found this earlier. This might be it. Let's find out. Well, we're going to have to sit through an ad here real quick. Let's find it.
I don't know much about Lauren Boebert, but she's kind of like the Marjorie Taylor Greene of Colorado, right? She's like super MAGA, Republican, very pro-gun.
Right.
All that kind of stuff. Like a little on the crazy spectrum.
That's correct. Oh, wait, here we go. Okay, so let's... CCTV showed Miss Boebert touching her guest's groin while he fondled her breasts. So here you see his hand all over her giant breasts, and then she has her other hand in his crotch, too. Look at this. Doesn't that look like fun? Look at that. I'm telling you right now, what's wrong with a little of that? It's a dark theater. Everyone's watching the show. What's wrong with a little groping in public?
I don't know.
See, no argument whatsoever. There's no argument against this. No, you're 100% right though. If this had been a liberal congresswoman, if this had been AOC or anybody else, it would literally be don't slut shame them. You know, they're not bothering anyone. Why do we even need to bring this up? But Republican congresswoman, oh, now we need to actually,
well, I think
she's a slut, she's a whore, you can't do this in public. Think
also
about the children.
I also suspect that if this was someone from the left or a congressperson from the left, that they would be outraged at the person who released the video footage because they would say that's a violation of like their privacy.
No, Lauren, the Republicans aren't afforded rights in liberal world. Yeah, I don't understand. Or well, I do understand. It's politics. It's a game.
Yeah,
it's all a game.
It's team sports.
It's team sports.
It's team.
Somebody on the other team. Somebody on the other team. Here's an opportunity to take them down. I'll take them down.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing on the right too.
It's just like
if this happened to someone on the left. Like, I'm sure there's a bunch of right wingers, like, defending. Like, it's like, oh, it's just leave her alone. What's the big deal? And then, if it was a left winger who did it, they'd be like, she's a whore. It'd be the exact opposite thing. I'm not trying to say one side is better than the other. They're both awful. Mm-hmm. They're both Jimmy Fallons.
Mm-hmm. This fight between the Democrats and the Republicans and using like gotcha paparazzi style photos. It's just like in the 90s and 2000s, the battle between ex-Tina and Britney Spears, and it was a race to see who could release coochie photos first and show which one was the bigger slut.
Yeah, pretty much. I kind of wish it was more like that. You know what I'm saying? I wish all of politics was like who's the bigger slut and who could be the biggest slut.
Well, I think there's one that just a news article came out about some congressperson.
I forget her name, but she put out a porn like video of her and her husband, and I watched it.
So I'm gonna say that's
pretty fucking awesome.
I'm gonna say that's probably up towards the top.
That one's pretty good. I'll just say that one's pretty good.
If we're doing a slut tier ranking, that's probably in the A tier.
I think she was also Republican. I could be wrong about that.
Should we do that at some point? You've seen those like tier things where it's like A, B, C, D, E tiers and you rank things. Should we do that for Congress and have it be by sluttiness?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
I'll show it to you sometime.
Okay.
We don't have time to do that on the podcast today, but I'll show it to you sometime.
We ain't got time for that shit. Cool. So,
but the Crass wipes know what I'm talking about.
We've already gone almost an hour. Wow. So, I'm gonna skip this one for later. And we're gonna
Which one?
The Reddit one. We're gonna wrap it up with the diaper one. But before we wrap it up before we wrap this diaper up,
apt choice.
I do want to say, go follow us on Instagram at Working Crass Pod. I'm sorry, let me repeat that. Go follow us on Instagram at Working Crass Pod. That's where we put all of our clips and stuff. We are taking a little break from putting out clips. We just have very busy lives. We have,
we're going to be out of the country in a little bit.
We're about to be out of the country for a couple weeks on our belated honeymoon. Very excited about that. We're going to go to Greece. We'll hopefully we'll be able to share some stories and pictures with you once we return.
Yeah.
But what that means is for a little while here, we don't have those clips coming out. But all updates regarding our podcast happen on that Instagram, so go check that out at Working Crass Pod if you don't already follow us, and go share some of our clips to help boost us up in the old algorithm there.
Share the clips, follow us on Patreon, share the Patreon.
Yes, and the Patreon ad will go in here as well.
Can you share Patreons?
No.
All right. Well, don't do that then, because you can't.
But yeah, so if you notice that, we have a little less going out than we usually do, it's just because we are out of the country. But once we return from the country, it'll be back in full force. Yeah. And
but if you want to go door to door trying to get people to subscribe to our Patreon,
that's a good
and act
idea
as
as well.
Sales representatives for us, we fully support that.
That's absolutely correct. So go do that. Go door to door in wherever it is that you live, telling people about the Working Crass Patreon.
Yeah.
Hey there, folks. I just want to take a quick moment to tell you about the best way to support Working Crass Podcast, and that is patreon.com/workingcrasspod. You guys know that we're a small independent podcast. We're making the type of content that YouTube loves to censor. We just want to make people laugh here at Working Crass Podcast, and we're doing that unfiltered and unrestricted over on our Patreon. Not only do you get a wild bonus episode every single week, but you're also going to get anything that YouTube takes down, scrapped episodes that we didn't feel comfortable putting out in the public, and behind-the-scenes sketch content, a whole lot more bonus content that you're absolutely going to love. Here's a quick clip of one of our latest episodes.
What if somebody asked you for a nude portrait setting?
I would do that.
But
I would be nude. You could draw me. Would you draw me nude?
Yeah, I actually would, yeah.
Let's do it, dude.
I have. I mean, I would. So if you like what we're doing on our podcast, if we make you laugh week after week, please, please, please consider supporting us by subscribing to the even funnier content that we're putting out over on patreon.com/workingcrasspod. All right, back to the show. Anyway, cool. Let's talk about this diaper. Let's talk about this diaper boy.
Let's talk about this big old dirty diaper boy.
So the Missouri Department of Health had notified Libs of TikTok that they were investigating.
Good. I'm glad that state agencies are contacting
Libs of TikTok.
Right.
Yeah.
The National Defender, Libs of TikTok.
Look. Is CNN going to put this footage up? No, they're not. Is MSNBC going to put this footage up? No, they're not.
No, they can't because they all do it at CNN and MSNBC. This is their thing.
This is 100% their thing. Now, you might be asking, what are you guys talking about? They notified us that they're investigating after a Starbucks barista with a diaper fetish filmed himself dispensing whipped cream into his diaper at work at Starbucks. There's even a full story at libsoftiktok.com, so we'll have to go there and check it out. But there is a video here. I just wanted to show everyone the next time you go to Starbucks and you're looking at your barista there, just picture him in a little diaper, putting some of that whipped cream in his diaper. Picture that maybe he shit some of that whipped cream into your very drink. Let's take a look at this. I wonder
picture that barista with a packed and loaded dipe.
Sorry if the audio is loud here. Let's find out.
Oh.
Oh, he's filling that thing, man. And
oh my God.
damn.
That's a loaded diaper.
And hey, here's the thing. Whatever brand of diaper that is, it works pretty well. I don't see any leakage. I see zero leakage.
You know, funny thing, I heard the same thing happened in the Tonight Show writer's room.
This is what Jimmy Fallon got in trouble for.
He was filling up a diaper full of whipped cream that was actually for the employees.
Oh, man. I mean, am I surprised? No. I've seen all the little enamel pins that these guys have at Starbucks. I know they're freaky and kinky. Every time you go into a Starbucks, it's like a guy has a pen that's like, I'm into pup play.
It's just pins that say Huggies.
Yeah.
Johnson & Johnson. Pampers.
Every single time I've gone into a Starbucks, the barista is like, what can I get you today? Ruff, ruff.
Oh, my. Oh, God.
You know, fun fact, every time there's a furry convention in in any city, all of the nearby Starbucks close down because their employees they got places to be.
Yeah.
They got animals to be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, every single and it's sad that this needs to go on Libs of TikTok because conservatives don't need this. Mostly conservatives follow Libs of TikTok. It's just what it is.
Conservatives were already saying that. Look at these libs; they're all diaper babies.
100, but like conservatives are all going like, oh, these liberals, they're freaks and crazy, and everyone who works at Starbucks, these millennial
You're
liberals,
just a bunch of boohoo diaper babies.
yeah, they're all a bunch of weird kink fetish like freaks that put whipped cream in their diapers, and liberals go, no, I've never seen anything like that, and then
as he's shoving whipped cream up his asshole.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I don't think that anybody actually does that. Oh.
Yeah.
They go, now if you excuse me, I got a diaper to change.
Excuse me, I got a full diaper.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Do you think you can get diaper rash from filling it with whipped cream?
No,
And
that
wearing
cream
it for an 8-hour shift.
The cream is moisturizing the ass. What are you talking about, a rash? You're going to feel better than ever.
Well, it's like sugary and sticky because whipped cream melts.
That's true.
And this guy,
he's like, hey, while I have all this whipped cream in here, I may as well fill this diaper up the rest of the way. Oh, you got to fill the front.
Oh, my God. The front.
Now, what's great here, too, is he's using the work canister of whipped cream. Oh, he's got to get it up there, too. Oh, he fills it with ice, too.
Oh, my.
Wow. I mean, folks, this is at a Starbucks, and he is using the Starbucks equipment.
Ew.
The stuff that they put your whip. Yeah,
It's all over his hands.
These are the canisters that they put your whipped cream in your frappe. And it's also going in his fruppe, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, your frappe whipped cream is going straight in his crack-a.
Crap-a.
Yeah. Damn it. Took us a while to get there. Maybe one of these podcasts we're going to get the good joke right at the beginning. Ugh.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just thought this was funny as shit. Filling up your diaper with whipped cream. I mean, how much funnier can it get? Let's see if there's any good details in this full story here, just because I'm curious.
My. Oh, my.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
So is this a
God.
man or a woman?
It's a demon. That's what I say.
Oh, I love
This is demonic.
I love that they got a good picture that, has their full name, where they live, and then asks to call or text at this address, and loves to be exposed. Lives in Baldwin, Missouri, and loves to be exposed.
Oh, my Lord.
Jesus Christ.
But why are you wearing a diaper with a bra?
Yeah.
Don't they know babies don't wear bras?
I love how Libs of TikTok starts this. There's nothing better than a Frappuccino from Starbucks with a generous swirl of whipped cream on top. But unfortunately, this Starbucks barista in Baldwin, Missouri will make you rethink your drink order. Jessie Scott Johnson, a.k.a. Jessica Lillian Johnson, is part of the ABDL, Adult Baby and Diaper Lover community.
Okay, this.
So this person, and I don't want anybody to be like, hey, you guys are doxing this person, or like, this is private like footage or whatever. No, this person posted this footage. This person who works at a Starbucks has a job, posted on the internet, them at their own job filling a diaper with whipped cream. This is like me going into the call center, taking a video of me filling a diaper with whipped cream while I'm on the phone and going, sir, it do be like that sometimes. Oh, man. He posted this going, one of the more odd and humiliating blackmail tasks.
They.
No,
posted.
he.
Baby.
No.
No, that's their pronouns are baby.
Bay and B. Filling my diaper with whipped cream while at work this morning. So this is like on shift. Oh, man. Here's the full video where Johnson takes the Starbucks whipped cream dispenser, shoves the nozzle into his diaper, and squeezes a lot of whipped cream into said diaper. And then follows that with a grande full of ice. To accomplish what? Not sure. We reached out to the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services to notify them of this video and inquire if it violates any health codes. Turns out it does, and now they're investigating. Yeah, you don't say that putting the whipped cream in your diaper violates some health codes.
Yeah, shoving the canister of whipped cream up your ass crack.
Yeah.
That may pose a health hazard.
I just, why hasn't Starbucks had an official statement on this,
Because
some of our employees wear diapers, some of them are filling them with whipped cream. Yeah, we get it. It's just part of the job. Well, Lauren, what did you learn today?
I learned that I think everybody who was writing on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon were all part of the adult diaper baby loving community.
Oh, yeah.
And the crying room was right next to the whipped cream up the asshole room.
Yeah, the crying room was right next to the diaper genie room.
Yeah.
The reason why Jimmy Fallon got so mad, he's like, why are we spending so much money on Huggies? Why are we spending so much money on Depends? Anyway, and they're like, well, that just depends how much whipped cream you got, because I'm gonna fill these diapers up. I can't possibly write monologue jokes with an empty diaper. It's like how like the old writers of SNL, they used to like go up on the roof and like smoke weed or whatever just to get the brain rolling. It's like, look, I just got to fill this diaper with a bunch of whipped cream and ice. Then that'll get the balls rolling, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
That's why all the jokes suck, because they're full of whipped cream up their ass. Anyway.
Yeah.
I learned that I have a new fetish, and that is going to see Beetlejuice the musical in a diaper full of whipped cream, fondling Lauren Boebert's big old boob. They should call her Lauren Boebert. Those boobs are huge, man. There are, anytime you see a post about it, I'm talking about all of these like liberals that are like commenting things on it that go against everything they've been preaching for years. But there are quite a few comments of liberal dudes that are like, you know what? I ain't even mad. That's pretty sweet. That's kind of where I land on. I'm like, it's pretty cool. She sounds pretty cool. She's got my vote. That's for sure. If she wants to run for president, all she needs to do is put that out as a campaign ad. She's like, Lauren Boebert for president. I'm cool.
No, she's not running for president. She's running for head of the big titty committee.
Well, she's got my vote. Like, I give handies in musicals. What's great about that is it goes right along with the South Park episode about musicals. That's why guys bring their women to musicals, because there's subtle messaging in the musicals that make them horny
Yeah.
and make them want to give blowjobs and hand jobs. This is just proof that is exactly correct.
Yeah.
Even Beetlejuice the musical is is making Congresswoman go, I gotta jerk you off. Get your hands on these tits. Conservative Congresswoman, who are usually a little more prudish, don't you think?
One would think.
One would think they would be the ones that, I'm not gonna be a whore.
Yeah, one would think.
I think it was also a conservative Congresswoman that did the sex tape thing too recently. It's weird. These
Wow.
conservatives, they're getting horny,
They're getting
getting horned up.
wild.
I like it. I like this world we live in. I don't want to stop until every politician has a sex tape. I don't think we should stop until we can see the butthole of every politician. We shouldn't be voting on policy. We should be voting on pussy. What does your pussy look like? That tells me whether or not you can lead. If you got a bomb-ass pussy, you can lead.
And in today's America, butthole is the new pussy.
I want to see what kind of ass is going to be sitting in that seat in the Oval Office. All right. Well, anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you again next week. And go sign up for the Patreon, because we're going to go hog wild over there. Patreon.com/workingcrasspod. Thank you very much. See ya. Bye.
Bye.